I'll be real, and here's the disgusting part. I'm going to be so good at Wuthering Waves, it's going to make people sick. I've even considered going back to being a guide maker part-time to make shitty guides for casual players, right? Because sometimes these content creators just lose the goddamn plot. But I believe that MTash makes very good guides. But I am very curious how his tier list stacks up against mine.
MTash here, and today we're going to be doing the first ever launch tier list for Wuthering Waves.
Do you know why this is so dangerous? Because like half the characters were changed. Half the characters were changed, you know? So this tier list can come out, people can get excited, but I encourage everybody who sees this to take this with a grain of salt and then watch another tier list that I'm sure MTash will release shortly after launch for 1.0 once all the changes have been implemented and testing goes out. But yeah, I am very familiar with the power state of every character in this game.
Now, I've played all of the betas and I've had access to the game for a little bit, but I am not alone here.
So I've been in Discords watching people play the game privately for hours upon hours on end. I sit there, they stream illegally their version of Wuthering Waves, and I just sit there and I just get to chill out, enjoy the game. It's great. It's awesome.
Well, I'm going to give you my opinions on the best characters for the launch of Wuthering Waves. There's also a bunch of math. And there's also the predictions of other content creators to give you an idea of who will be some top tier units in the game. Now, you need to understand that these things will change and this will probably age like milk. But there's been a lot of testing already done.
I think Alto is going to be one of the most underrated units in the game. Because people aren't going to realize how beneficial it is to have a ranged character and the safety that provides when you're going all in for DPS. Like, people don't get how much easier playing a ranged character is. And that's like a huge buff. So sure, their damage might not be as good, but you're never going to fucking get hit. And here's the best thing. He looks really cool. And Tao Chi has fat fucking titties. You see what I'm saying? Like fat fucking tits, right? And that's got to bump her up a couple of your ranks for sure. I'll be real. I really don't think that we need characters to go as low as C tier for this, because all the characters are pretty good. If you're pretty good.
Looking at the different weapons and the different characters, who has the potential highest DPS based on the weapon classes, and breakdowns depending on those weapons for the different characters.
Sure. And this makes a lot of sense as far as Genshin Impact goes, but for Wuthering Waves, the reason why I disagree with this a lot is that when you play a melee character, sure, your potential DPS might be higher. Yes, you might say, well, if I take this sword and I hit him full force, it'll cut him in half, right? But if I stand 1,000 meters back and I shoot him, it only puts a small little bullet hole. Well, one is way safer than the other and still gets the fucking job done, right? And this isn't your Mickey Mouse grandma fucking minigame anymore. This is real shit, okay? There are bosses that are gonna be fucking hard. So making the fights as easy as possible is paramount. It is paramount to this game. And I think that's going to be a perspective that I provide for allowing people to know that range really do have a huge advantage of pretty much barely having to dodge, my opinion. Of course.
You have to understand that even though a character might not have the highest DPS, they enable someone else to have more DPS. You also have to understand that some of the math and the testing that is done is on a base level hero. But certain characters that you have or will get much stronger over time. I want to show that as well with this, with this sheet right here. This is going to break down on the different copies or dupes that you get. You start getting passives for your characters. And some of them are crazy. Some of them are massive upgrades. And I want to show you one of those right now, in-game. I'll click on the game and I'll show you. And then I have to close it before I get in trouble. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put myself in the corner here. If you look at someone like Mortefi, 19% increase in value or overall potential. I want to explain why that is happening. Because on someone like Mortefi, on his full copy, you're now getting a 7-second duration on the one passive he provides, which is massive. Things like his first one, giving these extra follow-up attacks that are happening in...
Mortefi's going to be really fucking good, and I think he's going to get better with time when Chang Li gets released, if she's a DPS, because Mortefi's going to be very good for the fire teams. So I think a lot of the characters like Alto, Mortefi are going to get better the more characters that get released, because a lot of them, and Wuthering Waves, I'm going to be real, dude, if you thought relics for Genshin were straightforward, Wuthering Waves is very straightforward. It is quite literally, take the fire guy and put him on the fire team. Take the wind guy and put him on the wind team, right? It's really not going to be that much complicated nature when it comes to team comps. Not that there ever is in any gacha game, but like the team comps here are going to be very strict and they're going to be very straightforward for now on launch. But Perhaps mechanics in the future will be introduced in order to have more flexibility of builds. I also really wish they kept Mortefi with the Dragon Tail, but that's just my opinion.
In game, things like this can take a character from here.
It's pretty much like PGR, absolutely.
So you have to understand that these tier lists will evolve. Characters that might be on the lower tier at the very launch will grind all their way to the top because they've got copies, they've got dupes, you've got more of them. So it's always important to understand that these things are preliminary. But based on the math, they're saying that DPS, Jian, who's going to be one of the first limited characters, will be the highest damage potential in the early game, in the beginning. As for like a sub DPS or hybrid or supporting unit, Yinlin, the second limited unit, also very high. And then the support is Verina. That's going to be the best. That's what they're kind of hypothesizing. They're saying Calcharo is going to be also very good DPS, as well as Encore, which is
okay, I just want to clarify that. So
they're saying more.
So Jian, Yinlin, Verina, that team is not that good. Okay, because you want to use Yinlin with Calcharo and Verina. And the reason why you do that, and I'll explain, is Yinlin is going to make Electro characters do more damage. Calcharo is an Electro character. Okay, and Verina is going to have a universal attack buff on the entire team, as well as a universal damage buff on her outro skill. That's not what he's saying. Yes, but it could be confused. That's why I'm going to clarify it. Okay, because I'll go back, right? I'll go back so you can listen to it again. The information needs to be very clear, because when you see S tier, S tier, S tier, right? When you see the top, S tier, S tier, S tier, I'm clarifying that this doesn't mean this is the God team, right? It's very important to clarify.
Potential in the early game, in the beginning. As for like a sub DPS or hybrid or supporting unit, Yinlin, the second limited unit, also very high. And then the support is Verina. That's going to be the best. That's what they're kind of hypothesizing. They're saying,
okay, do you see how that could confuse people and make them think, oh, Jian's the best DPS, Yinlin's the best sub DPS, Verina's the best support, so that's the best team, right? Hopefully that makes sense while I'm clarifying that is not the best team. The best team at launch will be midway through 1.0, and it'll be Calcharo, Yinlin, and Verina. That's the best team.
Calcharo is going to be also very good DPS, as well as Encore, which is expected.
No, Calcharo is going to be the best DPS because he has the best team support option. So he will be the best due to what's in the game at launch.
Mortefi is going to be a very good supporting unit, and then everyone else is following suit and a little bit lower down. And I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, yeah, I can understand it. I'm going to go through every unit in the game, and I'm going to do a small little review and help you understand.
Also, Sanhua is very underrated.
Why they're placed where they are.
And Encore is very good, but you have to realize that her DPS is potential DPS, and the ability to play Encore, I believe she's going to be one of the higher skill caps characters in the game to play, because the way her parry works is different like everybody else's, and because her attacks don't parry, you actually have to jump plunge in order to do parry procs on certain bosses. Or on bosses, and it's incredibly fucking difficult. But if you play Encore and you're good, it's going to look fucking nuts.
And I'm going to give you my rankings. But you have to remember that there are certain units on here, like this Danjin. Danjin is in the B tier, but if you look at the write-up down here for Danjin, very high damage, but also very risky to play. So if you're a casual, it's probably a bad unit, terrible unit. But if you are good at the game, it's going to be a high-risk, high-reward type unit. So there's a lot of different things you need to know about that.
Danjin is also getting nerfed on launch, according to the rumors.
Let's get started. So the Rover, or the MC, I would say, in the A or S- tier. The reason why, you get them from the start so you can invest from the start. And you will also get multiple dupes and copies of this unit, allowing you to get some juicy value. Also, if you invest in this character and you level them up, there are other elements that are getting brought into the game. You can see it down here. There's going to be Havoc, and there's going to be other elements that are available, most likely down the road.
Investing into your MC for almost every game is good, because eventually they will become good, and they're incredibly strong at the start. They are going to fall off, but with future update patches being brought into the game, eventually they will find a niche in the meta. They always have, and they always will. Not Genshin. Genshin MC Dendro was very good at Sumeru launch, right? So they usually find a way.
So there may be a situation where all that investment pays off and they become an S tier unit. So I'm going to put it in the A tier for right now, but it is a very solid unit. Anyone in the A tier is still going to be God tier and allow you to beat everything in the game. Let's go with some of the big obvious picks. So they're saying Jian is going to be an S tier damage pick. This is the first limited unit in the game. Just a reminder, a lot of the first units in any gacha game end up getting power corrupt. So even though this might be an S tier unit now, they may drop down in comparison to other units down the road.
They do, but I think Jian also provides a very confident play for AoE mob farming that I think he'll be very good at, because his abilities all suck them up into a small area and make it really good for DPS.
A good example of that is Zila in HSR. Still a really good unit, but other units came out and were just stronger. Now, Yinlin, in my opinion, is actually going to be put at the very top of the list.
Absolutely. Yinlin most likely will not be power crept for a very long time. And the reason why that is because specific characters that do specific things for specific teams, it's a very low chance that Kuro and gacha games in general will make another incredibly specific character to power creep them in that role. That's why very specific characters like Yinlin, which is, I make electro people do more damage. That's why she'll most likely not get power crept for a very long time, which is why I recommend everybody to get her if you want to run Calcharo, because what she does is so exclusive to that team. They're not going to just make a new electro buffer. They're going to make an arrow buffer, a cryo buffer, a fucking havoc, you know, all that bullshit before they make another electric.
For right now, because Yinlin is kind of a supporting buffing unit that is going to make any electric unit in the future very strong. I think that she is one of the most valuable units in the game.
I agree. Okay, so here's another great question by chat. I don't know what she does, but couldn't she get power crept by a more generalized unit? Okay, so if another unit did what Yinlin did, but better, right, in a more universal generalized sense, well, then you can just get rid of your healer and then use double buffer DPS, right? Because, well, then that's just fucking broken, right? Because then your main character is going to be able to do so much damage with a double amplifier, it would just be fucking insane. And then at that point, just kill them all with one fucking unit, right? But I don't think that's going to happen. And the thing with Kuro games is they don't really make really good generalized units, barring Verina so far. They make very specific units for very specific teams. If you've ever played PGR, you know that with like strongest electro team, strongest light team, strongest water team.
Very beginning. So I'm going to put her all the way at the top there because I see future potential for the character. Another unit that I can place in the S tier and maybe even above her is Verina. Now, this is not a Bailu or Chixia situation. Verina is very good. She's very quick to be on the field, good energy generation, and is able to heal your team. But more importantly, she's able to do a universal buff for your teams.
So let me explain what he means by very quick on the field, because a lot of you guys aren't going to know what that means. So very quick on the field is the way this game works. It has these certain things that are called like forte skills that you have to play into passives, and also a way to charge your intro and outro skills. Okay, for other characters, in order to charge their main kit, they have to be on the field and they have to auto attack to charge it up. So their on-field time is like 4 to 6 seconds before you can swap to get max benefit. Verina is swap in, use your skill, swap out, right? And every 3 times you swap out, then your outro is going to be charged, and that's going to give 20% damage buff to your entire team, which is like instant cast, buff, swap out. So attack buff, damage buff, get off. And it's instant. So it's going to feel very Genshin-like. If you want to Genshinify your playthrough and your playstyle, just get a Verina.
You need healers. You need support units, and Verina is super, super solid.
Yeah, and she also heals,
absolutely everyone. And
she also has a prevent death every 10 minutes, but it's whatever.
I think she's a good pickup unit. So that's where we're going to put her absolutely in the S tier. Now,
she is the best unit in the game.
At overall damage numbers, someone like Calcharo, he has his moments to shine, and his ultimate can do pretty crazy, but there is downtime where maybe he's not quite as good. The nice thing is because of Yinlin, she is going to be bringing up the value of him and potentially bringing him into that S rank.
I 1,000,000% agree. The value of a character also values on who you can put on a team with them. And I think it makes no sense to rate characters as standalone. I think the best way to rate characters is how strong can they be with the right setup? Because that's the only thing that matters, right? It doesn't matter how good a character is standalone because you're not going to use them standalone, right? So I believe that Calcharo should be S tier for sure.
But I think solo and alone, he's going to be somewhere around the S minus or even high A tier long term, unless you've got Yinlin to support him or other future units. So it's just something to kind of make note of. Pretty solid overall.
And why the fuck would you not want to see Yinlin and Calcharo have sex every single time you use them on your team?
I was going to guess, though. I would say Encore by herself may be a better unit. Just for damage, just for DPS. She's kind of bursty, but that's just my guess.
Nah, she takes way too long on the field. She's really dangerous. She's really hard to play.
Based on the math, they're not like throwing her way above or anything like that. None of the calculations say that it's too crazy. It's saying that Encore is potentially higher DPS by like 2,000 or more damage per second. So if it's based on this, sheer damage, yeah. I think that Encore actually is a better number. But
because to get that damage, you have to play so fucking safe, you know? And Encore doesn't really have the greatest supports.
The support sooner rather than later, so it's really tough to say, but Encore is a really solid unit. As for Baiji, I think this is going to be either A tier or S minus tier because she's one of the only healers in the game.
I agree. Baizi will be very quick to get power crept probably in the next couple patches, but for right now, every free-to-play player should be building her because we all need healers for this fucking game. Now, you can't say need a healer skill issue. Oh, absolutely. But I really want this game to be casual-friendly. Right, but Baizi will be getting power crept very, very, very soon. She will be the Natasha of this game.
I'm sure she will move down eventually, but until we get more healers, then, I mean, there's no one better. There's no other healers in the game. There's 2 of them.
100%.
Don't worry, guys, you won't get power crept.
There it is. Yep, there it is.
She also provides a damage bonus. That's to the next unit on field. So you use her, you heal, and then you swap to your DPS, and you can get a damage bonus. So that has some major potential as well. Danji, they're putting in the B tier. I'm going to put in the A tier minimum, but this is a bit of a skill pick. I'm going to put in the A tier for sure because I like to...
It really depends on the changes they give her on live. If they keep her pre-nerf, then she can be very strong. One of the best DPSs in the game. But it just depends on what they do to her because they found that she was too powerful.
Playstyle, it's this kind of berserker playstyle, but I understand why people might not love that. Now, as for me, I'm going to put Mortefi. I'm going to put him in the S tier. I'm going to put this guy
he's really good,
because...
which is a shame because I don't fuck with him at all. I really wish they kept him like a dragon. I don't fuck with Mortefi, unfortunately. But yeah, he's really good. Really great support.
I see the potential in the future, especially if you start getting dupes of this character. He jumps in and does kind of duo attacks with your teammates. He's got this like burning attack. I really like this unit. And the big thing is he boosts up heavy attacks. If we ever get any other units that really spam heavy attacks, this unit will just get stronger. I see a ton of potential for him. I'm going to put him in the S- tier myself.
So, heavy attacking characters rarely ever get put into the game in mass. And the reason why that is because casuals just they just don't be doing that shit. They just spam light click over and over, or light attack over and over and over and over again, right? They just want to button mash, right? So, a charge attack character would be cool in the future, but generally we just fucking don't get those, right? Jian counts as heavy attacks with the normal ones? Yeah, for sure, but that's not like a heavy attacker, so they just count as heavy attacks. Right, so I guess they could do that. I guess they could be like, oh yeah, this character's light attacks count as heavy attacks, I guess.
As for Alto, didn't get really great ratings down here, but potentially can buff up Jian. He's got like an arrow damage bonus, but overall playstyle, I don't like the feel. I'm going to put him in either the B or A tier. I might get canceled for it, but I'm not convinced that this is like a must pick up unit.
So I feel like people are criminally underrating the fact at how good having a ranged character is. It just makes your playstyle really, really, really safe. And it allows you to do some goofy shit and get around certain mechanics that make the playstyle feel way better. I think Alto's playstyle is fucking awesome. I think he's criminally underrated, kind of like Pela was at the launch of Honkai Star Rail. I remember people told me that Pela was going to be a B tier unit at best, and I said, nah, she's going to be triple S. Well, look where we are fucking now, man. Everybody runs a fucking Pela. I feel like I think Alto's very underrated.
For Yanwu, I think he's going to be in the A tier. He places a turret down like
He's also fucking nuts. A defense scaling damage supporter. His abilities look really cool. My only thing, I'm not crazy about his hat. He looks like blue welt, but I really fuck with his playstyle. You know, build tanky, deal damage. I love that shit.
I think Yanwu is going to be pretty solid, and you get a free copy. But there's so much testing that needs to be done. This is just a preliminary idea. Anyone that's like S or S- tier, they stand out as like, oh yeah, duh, they're good. Everyone else is like, yep, probably good. You know what I mean? They're you build them, they're going to work, but they don't have standout features. I'm going to say that Yangyang is going to be an S- or high A unit. Yangyang is a free unit that everyone gets, but her ability to group and pair everyone together, I think, is very strong. I think that Yangyang has some potential. And
people don't get why grouping people together is so good, and it's because, well, okay, if you have a single target ability and it hits one person for 400%, that's great. But if you take that same ability and now they're all stacked on top of each other, that 400% damage thing is now a 3,000% or 3,200% scaling thing because you're hitting 8 targets at the same time. Grouping things together is always OP as shit. However, it obviously falls off during boss fights.
There's going to be moments where she really shines.
I think because range gunners don't have parry access as often, which means you can't break the bar as quickly, so even though you get range advantage, you miss it on DPS winners from breaking faster. Sure, but I'm sure you'd also agree, Fab, that a lot of casual players aren't really going to be going for constant breaks, and they're just going to be trying to survive the fucking bosses, and I think that range DPS are going to provide that comfort of play, that they are really going to allow casual players to bridge the gap for higher skill cap bosses. Fuck casuals. Well, the thing is, and here's my other take, there's no reason to make a guide for anything other than casual players because hardcore players don't need them, right? So, like, if your guide isn't for casual players, then why the fuck did you make it? That's my opinion, you know? Like, I mean, I'll be real. You think Regslen is looking up beginner's guide for Wuthering Waves? No, probably not. Right? No, probably not.
I'm going to put her in the S- tier because she does something that no one else is really doing. I see the value there. Tauchi, I'm going to put her in like the B tier. She's got some potential.
B for big fucking tits.
Work with the Echo set to give your team some healing and some energy. She's okay, but she's kind of like a tank unit, and tanks don't exist in this game.
Yeah.
You're gonna get one shot. So I'm not a big fan of her. I don't really rate
great
her very
point.
high.
She's definitely the Noelle of this game. But I'm going to use her anyways because she has fat fucking tits. And that's pretty much it, man. I really don't think I'm going to need any triple S tier unit to clear the fucking content. I'm not a fucking shitter. So I'm going to just use teams that I like. And you might say, well, Tectone, you're using Calcharo, Yinlin, and fucking Baizi. Isn't that your team? Well, you need fucking 3 of them, guys. You need 3 fucking teams. You need 3, right? So there's not that many characters, is what it is.
With dupes, like if you get the dupes for her, where is it? In here, she gets a couple big power spikes. Nothing too crazy, but she does look like she'll be a good DPS. Most likely better than Rover. If you look at the weapon tiers, she actually has some of the highest DPS in the game. They're ranking her as like some of the highest sword damage dealers in the game. So
but Rover's also really good because their playstyle is really smooth and their parry ability is super fucking easy. Like, so another thing that people don't know is that specific characters have different parry timers, right? And certain characters can parry easier than other characters, and Rover's is really fucking big, so I really enjoy Rover playstyle.
So that's pretty cool. Is that with dupes? That's probably gonna help with that. She gets some like crit rate and stuff like that, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. I think she's gonna be a really good damage dealer, but she doesn't do anything exceptional or unique. It's just like, yeah, she's a good damage dealer. And I think that a lot of these units are gonna be in that situation. They hit really hard, you can clear it, but they're not this like busted thing with crazy AoE or other passes or things like that. You know what I'm saying? This is Chixia. I think she's gonna be in the B tier. The reason why is she needs like a lot of field time. She's got a cool kind of gun charge attack. She's all right, but I don't see her as someone that I want to build. You can see the numbers are really close.
I'm gonna build her because she is so fucking fun. It's ridiculous. Like she is a blast to play. I understand you're going for meta, sure. But like Chixia can kill all the content. I'll be real. I soloed Crownless with her. And it was like I wouldn't even get hit. Right? Because Chixia, her range is so long, her playstyle is very fast. She's just a lot of fun to use. I'm gonna use the fuck out of her.
Close to like Mortefi or beating him in some situations, but I just don't think she's gonna be a pickup for me. It doesn't mean she's bad. Up next, we've got a couple of the other 5 stars. I think that this Mamacita will be up here. She's got this like shielding, countering ability.
I heard she was getting a buff, but yeah, Yangyang is not in a good spot, which is really unfortunate. Because, I mean, aesthetically, she's just so fucking beautiful. I really do wish she was better. I do hope they buff her, but we'll have to see.
She is a 5-star, so she's got some extra scaling. My guess is she'll be somewhere up here.
I would really recommend checking out updated tier list, which I'll include in the pinned comment if this is a video on YouTube, to see where Yangyang is in the current meta, because, man, they really fucking did her dirty, didn't they?
Maybe below like a couple of these, depending on how many copies you get. But she didn't shine for me. She didn't stand out as this must-pick godly unit. She was just fine. But I didn't play with her a whole bunch, so I'm not going to pretend
so fucking
that
cool,
she's
though.
Trash or anything like that. But if we look here, she didn't even do the most DPS. She's like a jump below. And here's the issue. This guy has higher damage. He has really good damage on the spreadsheets. Yeah. Absolutely awful to play, in my opinion. Absolute sewer level to play. Feels trash. So I think that she might be like in the B tier, like slightly above.
This is what you call a skill issue, right? This is what you call a skill issue. She's triple S tier in my heart forever. Fuck the haters. Yangyang forever. X-Lice, I agree with you. I agree. I'm going to find a way to make her work. And I'm going to find a way to make her ass work free to play. I'm going to build her ass 100%. She's too cute to use. But yeah, this right here is what you call a skill issue, 100%.
Because of utility, but technically he does more damage. So it's like, it's really tough, officially to say where they're going to be. But I'm not seeing a ton of potential, and I just don't really like them. So that's where I'm at right now. There's very fast enemies in this game, very hard-hitting bosses. There's a lot of situations where you're not going to have optimal rotations, and there is human error in these lists.
Great point. Because everything in a bubble can seem really fucking good. Okay, and I'm gonna give you a great scenario. So here's the thing. All right, there's the weapon and there's the target. Okay, now here it is. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. What's stronger? What can do more damage? A soy sauce bottle or a nuclear bomb? Soy sauce bottle or nuclear bomb? Okay, I don't know why I'm asking you guys. Okay, so obviously, in these scenarios, what can do more damage? Here's the scenario that I have. I have this soy sauce bottle, and I have this bottle of cup. Boom. 30 damage. Okay, now the other scenario is nuclear bomb. A nuclear bomb can do a ton of damage. Right? Well, first of all, I don't want to use it, because my ass will die too. And if my objective is pick up a nuclear bomb and throw it against that cup, well, I can't lift the damn thing up. So what's the matter? It doesn't matter how much damage it could do in a perfect scenario. You're never going to be in a perfect scenario. So you might as well be able to do the reasonable amount of DPS in a reasonable scenario.
The numbers and based on the charts, based on what I know of the characters, and based on their...
the fuck are you yapping about? I'm saying talking about perfect numbers in a bubble doesn't matter because you're never going to find yourself in a perfect situation. And if you're finding yourself in a perfect situation, well, you're going to fucking win anyways. So the only thing that matters is how much damage can you do in a reasonable situation, in my opinion.
Their overall passives and the increases they get, I'm feeling pretty good about the tier list. I'm feeling pretty good with their ratings and their thoughts on these characters. You know, the potential that they've got. Some people I rate higher than others. Like, I put Yangyang higher. I put her in the S- tier because I really like Yangyang.
Sure.
But again, you can clear the game with Danjin. You can clear the game with like anyone. So that's the way I'm feeling about things. If you have any questions or any concerns or thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below. But for right now, this is going to be the Wuthering Waves launch tier list. If anything changes between now and then,
I think it was fair, but I think a little too optimal of situation we're taking into consideration. But other than that, I think it was great.
I'll let you know. And I think I'll do another tier list after the first month, maybe, or a couple of weeks in.
I'll probably do one after 3 days of launch, being completely honest. I think 3 days playing with all the characters is more than enough. And I'll get a bunch of, you know what I'll do? I'll get every theory crafter in the game to come onto a podcast and then make a tier list together. I'll get like Fob, X-Lice, MTash, Mr. Pokey, Gotcha Smack, and we'll all make a community tier list together. I think it would just be great.
There's big updates, and with all the millions of people...
Zajeff? No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
Playing, we realized that something's been missed. But I just wanted to do a quick shout out.
Brax,
there's a ton of people working on this. There's Pride Win, there's I Win to Lose, there's a bunch of theory crafters.
Stepperoo, sure, whoever wants to come can come.
Jeff was in here. There's a bunch of different creators that are all in here. Not everyone has channels. Some people are just doing the math and like to help out. But thank you guys so much for all the help. This is
it was great. I mean, I'm excited. And it feels good because I'm very informed on everything in the game right now. And it feels nice. It makes my brain feel like it's going numb. And I really like that shit. I can't wait for Wuthering Waves, man. I'm even more stoked because I'm giving away $1,000 day one on my stream. It's going to be nasty. Anyways, see y'all later.